Your country sucks. And that is not an emotional statement. That is a literal statement because there are many things your country does that suck. And if you spend your entire life or most of your life just sitting in that one country, the one country out of about 200 other countries, you're not aware of what sucks. So let me give you an example. You should do this experiment sometime if you're able to travel. Go to Shanghai, China, okay? Shanghai, China, and use their metro system. Metro as in subway, the tube, I'll call it metro, whatever you want to call it, their mass transit system, okay? Use their metro system, okay? Then fly to Sydney, Australia, and use their metro system. And you will see the biggest fucking difference you've ever seen in your life. And you'll realize, my God, maybe my country that I happen to have been born into or that my parents happen to move me to might really suck at certain things. And I should probably take heed and understand what is good and what is bad. You don't have the context if you don't go through this living international life. So for this example, let me tell you what you're going to experience because I experienced this. So what you do is you fly into Shanghai, China. You've never been there before. You don't know the city. You've never used their metro before. And you walk into a metro station in Shanghai, China. And when you do this, you probably don't know much. You probably just know the name of the metro stop that you want to go to. You probably don't know anything else, right? So you walk into the Shanghai metro station, and as soon as you walk in, there's this big, very simple map on the wall with different colors and big numbers, very easy to understand. And you're like, all you know is you want to go to, you're like, the Luozhai station. I want to go to the Luozhai station. That's all you know, right? So you look at the map. Let's see, Luozhai. Oh, there it is. There's the Luozhai station. It's right there. And it just says, follow the blue line on the floor. And it has a blue line. And it goes to this number and go to track 24 with a 2-4 and a big circle. And you go, huh? And you look on the floor, and sure enough, on the floor, there's a yellow line and an orange line and a blue line. And they all have arrows pointing a certain way. So you just follow the blue line, follow the arrows. You go, okay. So you just walk on the blue line and you walk through the station, and it's a big station. Shanghai is a gigantic city. They have some big metro stations there. It doesn't matter though. You're navigating through the station, following the blue line. And every once you'll see a map saying you're on the correct path to da-da-da-da. You're like, okay, good. And then you get to track 24, 2-4. There it is. You wait for it. It says, you know, blah, 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 blah. It has a little map again showing you you're in the right place. You walk on, the subway comes. You get on the subway. And on the subway, it says right there, Luozhai Station, 4 stops. And then you go across the town and you get off and it's perfect. You have the entire system mastered within about 2 minutes. Even if you have no idea what you're doing, you've never been to the city before, you've never used a metro before. And that cost of that ticket going across the city is going to cost you about $1.50 US. Okay? Then you get on a plane and you fly to authoritarian Australia. Well, Caleb, China's authoritarian too. You don't live in China. None of you live in China. But a lot of you dumbasses still live in Australia, don't you? If this is not about China, well, China sucks. I didn't say this is about China being good. That is not the point of this video. I think you know what the point of this video is. I'm not saying move to China. Did I move to China? No. Should you move to China? No. We're not talking about how good China is. That's not the point of this video. You'll find out in a minute if you haven't already figured it out. So anyway, you'll fly to authoritarian Australia, go to Sydney, Australia, go into one of their metro stations. And again, same scenario. You've never been to Sydney. You've never been on any metro station. All you know is the name of where you're going, the name of the metro station you're going to. I need to go to the Christchurch station. That's all you know. So you walk into the station and you just came from Shanghai. So obviously there should be a sign there telling me where to go. So you walk in and you don't see anything. There's nothing on the walls. There's no signs. There's just brown walls and brown floors and people walking around. You're like, okay, well, there's got to be a sign here somewhere. So you start walking around and walking around and walking around and walking around and you 5, 6, there's no signs. There's nothing. You have no idea what the fuck you are. Sometimes there's a number on a wall with a door. What the fuck? So you're walking around and walking around. You have no fucking clue. Finally, after 5, 10 minutes of walking around like a dumbass, you see a sign. Thank God, a sign. Now it'll tell me where to go. No, it won't. This is authoritarian collapsing West. So you walk over to the sign, and it's just a list of names and a list of numbers. And you're like, okay, I need to go to Christchurch. It's not on this list. Shit. And then you realize it's just a list of the name of the metro lines. Every line has a name. You don't know what line you need. You don't live here. You don't fucking know. So it lists a line and it lists some numbers. Now it doesn't say where they are. It's not a map. It's just a list. So even if you knew the line, it wouldn't help you at all. You're like, well, what the fuck? So you walk around more. So you think, okay, well, maybe I got to find someone to talk to then. So you look for one of the employees there, a customer service desk. Okay, so you walk around for another 25 minutes like a dumb fuck, and then you see a customer service. Oh, thank God, a customer service. They can help me. You go to the customer service desk and no one's there. No signs. No, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Just no one's there. You look around like a dumb shit. So then you start stopping random people. Hey, do you know how to get to Christchurch? They go, oh, I don't know. You know, they're Australian, very nice people, but they don't fucking know. They have no idea. Like, well, do you know what line? No, I don't live here. As you can tell by my very thick American accent, I don't live in Sydney, Australia. Shrimp on the Barbie. So you're fucked. So finally you wander around, and eventually after maybe a half an hour, maybe you figure it out. Hopefully. Then you get on the train. The trains are pretty good. The quality of the trains are about the same as China. That part's good. You go a few miles, just like you went a few miles to Shanghai. The cost of the ticket is $12 US. Am I saying China is good? No. Am I saying China is perfect? No. Am I saying you should move to China? No. What I am saying is, I bet you there are thousands of people who live in Sydney, Australia, who have never been really outside of Australia, who think that their metro station's pretty good because they have no context for what is good. When you live a solitary life inside your own collapsing Western country, because you think everything outside the United States is awful and terrible, and I got to stay in the United States because the United States is perfect no matter what, because Trump will fix everything or whatever the fuck you think, okay? You don't know what is good. You don't know. You just know how your one country out of 200 does it. There are ways countries do restaurants. There are ways countries do their metro stations. There are ways countries do airports. When I flew to Sydney that one time, it was Sydney or Melbourne, I forget, I landed, and to get through immigration, they had a line of these automated machines, which were kind of new back then. I'm like, oh, cool, I don't have to go through immigration. I can just scan my passport. I get excited, walk up. They're all broken. They're all turned off. Why are they here? So you have to go wait in line so a human does it. They have ways of doing the internet. They have ways of doing traffic. They have ways of managing a city. They have ways of managing the infrastructure, like in Dubai. And often, many of these countries that you think are awful and terrible and horrible do these things way better than your fucking piece of shit country. You don't know what is good until you leave your collapsing Western country. And once you start visiting other countries, you realize, holy shit, my country fucking sucks, at least in these 4 or 5 areas. And yes, to be fair and rational and objective, maybe your country, including the collapsing USA or cuckoo Canada or suicidal Europe, does a few things better than other countries. True, America does pizza, I think, better than any other country in the world. I think that's nailed pizza. But in other things, 12,000 other things, it fucking sucks. You don't know it's good until you see how other countries do it. So when I say your country sucks, I'm not kidding, and I'm not exaggerating, and I'm not joking. It sucks. You just don't realize how much it sucks because you haven't experienced the way other countries do other things.